Hello and welcome to another edition of the Plus One interview from my office. Today we have a special guest, Lynn Classical girls soccer coach. Coach Mike, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. How are you?
I am great. I'm great. You know, it's a nice day outside. It's hot.
It
So
sure, it sure is. It feels like summer already. I'm getting
yeah,
excited.
I know I'm not gonna complain about the hot weather after after we did this.
Absolutely.
I bet you guys had quite the introduction to the GBL this season. In your first year as a GBL, your ladies won the GBL Cup. Just first, just talk to me about the process of getting to the season and getting ready for the season. Just talk to me about that.
You know, thank you very much to Nancy. Just to elaborate on what you said earlier. Talk about the season. Wow. Not the unknown was everything. As a coach, as a leader, as a parent, actually, is when you can't give these girls any answers on the season due to the fact that, all right, we're going to start in April. All right, we're going to start in May. All right, we're going to delay it another year. Is to keep them focused. Number one, on their health, their well-being, and trying to be a part of their lives, just to get that situation, kind of underway where you didn't know what was going to happen. So that was it. You couldn't even prepare. So preparation was something that you actually had to put soccer on hold and just prepare for them as student athletes, as students, to get it, kind of get them focused.
Mm-hmm.
Lives, I guess, was the challenge, but they all, through that whole year or whatever it may be, and things are getting better, as we know.
Yeah.
I always told every one of these girls, was my line to them, and it's, listen, tough times don't last, but tough kids do. And at the end of, when I see that light at the end of the tunnel, we're going to prevail. We're going to prevail as students. We're going to prevail as a team. We're going to prevail as a family. And that was my focus through everything. And it was just, once we got the go ahead of being, getting out there and getting the approval with the city of Lynn to kind of get together, that's when it all started. You just felt it. You just felt it in their hearts. They were beyond a family. They just wanted it so bad just to get out there. And that's kind of how it started.
And also being in the Northeastern Conference for so many years now, the quick move to the GBL, playing different schools that normally you'd see in like a tournament, the state tournament, or maybe like a already scheduled game, but they're playing against a different level of competition. How did you think they were able to handle it? How were they? What would you say their mindsets were, or how well do you feel they were prepared for that challenge?
That's a great question. Obviously, the NEC, it was challenging last year for a lot of teams. When we were in the NEC last year, it was my first year with the team. We faced about 12 injuries right off the bat. So last year was kind of just to get the kids healthy. That was it, and the competition was great. Coming to the GBL, that's where I actually played when I was in high school. So it brought back a lot of cool memories just going back there. And I knew when you play in the Medfords of the world, the Reveres, all of them, you knew that they were out there and they had that same vision. They were as anxious as we were. And that was it. So coming there, we had to be prepared every step of the way, because it was almost like a mirror image of what you were playing against, or who you were as a team. And that was the challenging part, is to be prepared, because there's what we were facing was the same type of hunger that we had. So we had to be prepared every single game, because everybody was fighting out there. When I say fighting, giving everything they have to just win the games, and we had to be prepared every single game.
And it says a lot about their mental preparation for young, for all the stuff that's been happening the past years, and for the young kids, the high school students, and all, just for them to be able to not only mentally get focused in the classroom with not being in the classroom, but then when you play athletics as well, that's a whole other mental focus. And it's like these type of situations, they could have they could have went one way or another, but we've seen a lot of students and a lot of students athletes be able to handle all this adversity and at such a young age for them to be able to handle this and just take it in stride and be ready for the moment. That's something that's going to last for them in their life as they move on going forward, knowing like they could handle certain things.
You know something, you are 100% right, because like I said earlier, the unknown is, sometimes soccer gets just put on hold after what these kids have faced in the last year. And just having leadership, even if you're calling your seniors, which my 4 seniors, I am going to miss dearly. And I'm going to just give them a shout out because they were a big part of this. Mary Collins, Kitty Mannion, Jessica Page, and Hannah Guthrie, all 4 leaders. They almost have to be big sisters through all this, keeping the girls focused. We did a lot of, Zoom things together as a team, just for bonding moments, because that's the bonding we can only have. To focus on school through this. I mean, they really went through something in their lives that we as parents for the first time went through in our lives, and they had to almost grow up really quick. And I'll tell you, they did it, and I'm so proud of them. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. It's amazing what they've been through.
Yeah, definitely. Now, all right, now talk to me about the GBL Cup, just the tournament. Just talk to me about this inaugural GBL tournament, going through it. Just, talk to me from the first game until getting to the championship. Well, how is that? This is an inaugural tournament as well. This pretty much states the only thing they could do at this time. Just talk to me about this tournament.
All right. It was actually, it was great for the GBL, and kudos to them for putting this together, because at the end of the day, it's, let's give these kids a little more games. Let's get these kids more focused on getting more excited about the year. And you know what? At the end, let's have a champion. It started out, and the good thing what they did too is everybody did make the tournament. Mm-hmm. We would have made it anyways. We finished 7-1-1, so we're excited about that. So we ended up first game of the GBL Cup. We ended up playing our rival. We played Lynn English, and they came to play that day. I got to be honest with you. And she does a great job over there, Abby. And we had our first game, and it was 0-0 for a little while. Then before you know, we just put the Jets on, and we ended up winning 2-0. But they came to play. That could have been anybody's game if you let it. So we were excited about that. It took a 2-0, and then of course when we finished the 3rd seed, believe it or not, because Somerville and Medford were ahead of us, with they were both on the determined seeds. And then we had to go to Somerville, who was undefeated the year before and actually were the champs.
Yeah.
And I had to have my A game ready, and I had a game plan with these girls. We stuck by our game plan. Kind of threw a wrench in a lot of things where we ended up taking them 3-0, which he was very surprised. He actually gave me a call, the coach over there, and said, "You know what? You all coach me. Your game plan was where it's at, but I can coach whatever as much as I can. These girls really have to perform out there. Players make players. And I always say it all the time. Coaches have game plans, and if they believe in you and they focus, they're the ones that have to perform. So we went to Somerville and actually took a 3-0. And that was a huge surprise. I wasn't surprised because I know our girls and how they play, and I was real happy. I actually told them before the game, this is a 3-0 game, and they looked at me like, really? I go, yep, trust me. And so we went there, and it was fun. And then we found out that Revere won big. I think they beat Malden 7-1. I'm like, here we go. And we actually played Revere. It was our first game of the year. We tied them 2-2. So I knew it was going to be a game that was going to come down to the wire. And then I had to mix some things around because she was prepared. I knew she was prepared, and she had a vision of what I had all year. So I made a few adjustments, moved a few players here, there, and I kind of had a different attack, and we had a great game. And then our freshman Lauren Wilson come out of nowhere, and she put one in the net and off a cross from Mary Collins, and we took that 1-0 lead in the first half. We hung on because they came in the second half of Revere, and they were shooting from every angle possible, and likewise but Anna Flaherty made our goalie spectacular, which 7 shutouts in a row. I think that might be a school record also. Really stepped it up, and we ended up holding off with 15 seconds left. Well, I didn't know that at the time. I looked at it and I go, how much time? He said 15 seconds. And we had that ball. And I'm like, man, we got this. We got this. And right when that whistle blew, I just looked at all those girls just hugging each other, and it made my day just to see them all happy. And that's the goal that I accomplished. We had 3 goals before we started. And I said, first, let's stay healthy. All right. I go, second, let's get a winning season. And third, let's win this cup. And they prevailed on all 3 levels. And I am more than proud to be their coach.
Yeah, and also, you gotta also give you a shout out to their defense, because that a shutout, 1-0 shutout in the championship game. That's a lot of credit has to go to the defense that was played throughout the game, even when the attack was coming.
Oh, to say the least. I called them the 4 horsemen. Yeah. My 4 horsemen. And again, there was more. I had people off the bench. Don't get me wrong. When I say I got, Jessica Page, Kitty Mannion, Molly Mannion, who played D for the first time, and I had that vision before. I'm like, Molly, you got this. I know you're a great wing back, and she focused on that end there. And Ava Carenti, the 4 of them, and Amanda Tucker. Those 5 come out of nowhere, and they played a defense like I've never seen before throughout the year. They were just warriors back there, and they played the great game. You couldn't ask for a better package back there. And I was real happy to have them with me.
And you just talked about your seniors going out on a high note. Now, just talk about the group behind them, the underclassmen behind them. What did you hope that they learned from the season that that it's going to carry on into the season? Because I'm pretty sure there will be a normal season.
Yes,
in the fall. So you got it's kind of a short turnaround, because you got couple months of summer training and all that camp. So just what do you hope the underclassmen learned from the
what they have learned? I got a huge junior class. I got 10 girls that are there, and if anything they've learned when just never give up from these 4 seniors. I had Hannah Guthrie come off an ankle injury. She was out there hobbling, working hard. Just everything about her. When you looked at her face when she came off, just her breathing heavy. It's just leadership. That when you look at her, I'm like, there you go. That's a captain. Then you look at Kitty Mannion, loud on the field. Loud meaning setting the plays, talking to the girls, just being vocal in a positive manner. Mary Collins, MVP probably in the league, in my opinion. And I'm not even just saying that because she's one of mine. She was just unbelievable on that field. Every time she got off that field, didn't matter. Her job this year was to cover every top scorer on the other team. And you know what? All those top scorers didn't even get a goal. That's how she played. And I was proud of her on that. And then every other coach acknowledged that. And then Jess Page, just solid back there. I don't think I gave her a rest all year, the poor thing. But she, again, prevailed. Everything she did was with poise. Everything she did was with leadership. And again, she scored on a penalty shot, which I think it was 4 for 4 with her 2 years with me. So I was excited about. But that's when you look at those 4 and you sit back and those are the ideal captains. That's what I'm looking for in a captain. And they just prevailed.
All right, definitely, Coach. Congratulations. This is big. This is a big momentum boost carrying on to next season. It's a great accomplishment that you and your ladies achieved this season.
Well, thank you. Sorry, I lost you for a second. I apologize.
No problem.
But yeah, I got you. It's our first cup. It's our first GBL championship at Classical. And the only thing is remember, at the end of the year, there's only one winner, no matter how you look at it. But if I can give these girls the high school experience that they deserve, that's what I'm here for. But thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you next year.
All right, no problem. That's Coach Mike from Lynn Classical. You guys been watching the Plus One interview. Have a great day.